Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
What did you say?
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest horror scenes of the 90s.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Who is that?
Helen, I came for you.
Do you know who I am?
For this list, we're looking at big screen scenes that sent shivers down our spines and stayed with us long after the credits rolled. Some of these scenes reveal major plot points, so we're issuing a spoiler warning. Did we miss a scene from the 1990s that still gives you nightmares? Tell us which one in the comments. Number 10, The Kitchen Ghost, The Sixth Sense.
I see dead people.
He sees dead people, and we had to see them too. A supernatural thriller, The Sixth Sense introduces us to Cole, a young boy who interacts with the dead. Each of these interactions is nail-biting, with the ghost of the young girl hiding in his tent being particularly harrowing. In the end, however, we went with Cole's encounter with a victim he finds in the kitchen. It's the little details that make it so effective, like the thermostat's temperature slowly dropping and the noises he hears from the kitchen. The entire scene is a masterclass in tension building, laying the groundwork for jarring moments, like when she walks past Cole or when she bears her wounds.
Mama? No. Dinner is not ready. What are you gonna do?
You know something is coming, but you're still caught off guard. Number 9, Laura Palmer's Dream, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk With Me. From the surreal mind of David Lynch, this psychological horror movie serves as both a prequel and sequel to the Twin Peaks TV show. The mystery man from another of Lynch's 1997 movies, Lost Highway, almost talked his way into this list.
Where was it you think we met?
At your house, don't you remember?
But we decided to go with Laura's dream sequence from Fire Walk With Me. It is strange to say the least. The scene gives us a peek into the psyche of Laura Palmer as she loses herself in a painting hanging in front of her. Her dream is filled with unnerving visuals, like an old lady beckoning to her, a child in the shadows, and a bloody version of a character named Annie.
Write it in your diary.
Number 8, The CANDYMAN'S LAIR, Candyman. It's just an urban legend, right?
Candyman, 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 Candyman. Candyman. Oh, you chicken!
This horror movie piques your curiosity about a mysterious figure only known as the Candyman, and then he hooks you in, literally. The protagonist, Helen Lyle, attempts to get to the cultural roots of this myth, only to realise too late that Candyman is very real. Candyman lures Helen Lyle to his lair and then stings the audience with gory visuals.
We have a bargain.
But I'm afraid.
Do you fear the pain? Or what is beyond?
Both.
The pain, I can assure you, will be exquisite.
His exposed ribcage dripping with blood, a swarm of bees spewing out of him, and his chillingly calm voice. This is how the Candyman reminds Helen and us that some stories are best left alone.
It was always you, Helen. It was always you.
Number 7, Heather Langenkamp's Hospital Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. You'd think Freddy Krueger would get tired of haunting people's dreams for over a decade, but here we are.
Come to Freddy.
The reason this sequence feels so sinister is that we assume hospitals are safe. is where movie characters go after having survived the ordeal. Like Heather, we're lulled into a false sense of security by the rhythmic beeps of the monitor, which unfortunately sends her to sleep. And so we're also petrified, again like her, when her son flatlines, only to rise up and start speaking like Freddy.
Honey, you should do that.
Too late. I'm almost there.
Almost there.
The hospital staff rush in, and while stressful, we hope that they'll save the day. Wrong! The movie doubles down when the doctor is revealed to be wearing Freddy's clawed glove. Try taking a nap after that.
Let's get him open. Good and fast. Cut this evil out of him.
Number 6, A Nightmare of a Hospital. Jacob's Ladder. Jacob, our troubled protagonist, is haunted by what he went through during the Vietnam War. This psychological horror movie tackles heavy themes like PTSD and mental fatigue. After his service, the American infantryman experiences inexplicable hallucinations and unsettling visions. And as the film progresses, the line between fantasy and reality seems to get increasingly blurred. One of the most terrifying scenes takes place as Jacob is strapped to a gurney and is wheeled around a ghastly institution. Everywhere he looks, he sees something unnerving, and there's nothing he can do about it. The sense of terror and sheer helplessness as he is carted through the grimy, blood-soaked halls is extremely hard to shake.
Where do you want to go? Home. This is your home. You're dead.
Dead.
Number 5, The Wire Saw, Audition. Audition starts off with, well, an audition. Shigeharu, a widower, hosts a fake casting audition in hopes of finding a new wife.
そこから30人ぐらいに絞っといてくれ。
30人？ああ、わかった。連絡するよ。
あ、それからな、写真は信用しちゃダメだぞ。作文は割にいろんなことがわかる。
This is how he first meets Asami, and initially everything seems to be going according to plan. That is, until he calls her... This is when the romance ends and the gore begins. Audiences might have gotten accustomed to scenes from slasher and torture flicks in the years since, but there's something enduringly disturbing about this scene of torment. It might be because Asami uses a metallic wire to saw through bone, or maybe it's the obvious joy she feels while doing it.
骨付きのお肉でも簡単に切り落とせるの。
やめろ。
Either way, that smile of hers is sure to haunt you long after the credits have rolled. Number 4, the opening, Scream. Shout out to Wes Craven. It's a real testament to his influence in the genre that he's on this list twice. For a meta-satire slasher flick, you need a killer opening, and Scream more than delivers.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Halloween. You know, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters?
It perfectly sets the tone for the rest of the movie by subverting audience expectations. Everyone presumes that Drew Barrymore's character is one of the leads, so we get blindsided when a casual conversation about scary movies leads to her brutal demise.
Here's how we play. I ask a question. If you get it right, Steve lives.
Please don't do that.
Come on, it'll be fun.
Please.
It's an easy category.
Please.
Movie trivia.
From the killer being in the house to her parents being just too late, this scene induces panic in a variety of ways. That being said, the identity of the killer, or rather killers, at the end of the film almost took this spot. Number 3, the ending, Ringu. This Japanese horror movie is as trend-setting as it is terrifying. Watch the cursed videotape and you'll die at the hands of the ghost Sadako in 7 days.
それが家に帰ってみたらいきなり女の人が映って「お前は1週間後に死ぬ」って
Reiko is a news reporter and her ex-husband, Ryuji, is a college professor, set out to uncover the secrets behind the tape. They eventually find the body of Sadako, and with the mystery seemingly solved, we finally breathe a sigh of relief. But the next morning, Sadako slowly creeps out of the TV and breaks any sense of security we had. We can only look on in terror as Ryuji is left a corpse. If she can move through a TV screen, what does that mean for us? Number 2, Shootout in the Dark, The Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal Lecter using his signature way to kill one of his guards and then escaping is a tough moment to top, but the paranoia and uneasiness of our pick strike a different kind of fear. Clarice Starling, an FBI agent in training, attempts to apprehend the serial killer Buffalo Bill while in complete darkness. She can't see a thing as she stumbles through a home armed with a gun and with no idea where to point it. Turns out Clarice is on Bill's turf and he's stalking her with night vision goggles. What makes our heartbeats skyrocket is that we watched the whole thing through Buffalo Bill's eyes. We gasp at every misstep because we know how close she is to being Bill's next victim. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Hobbling, Misery. Broken Ankles brought to you by the twisted mind of Stephen King.
But they also had to make sure they could never run away. The operation was called hobbling.
The ending, Arachnophobia. An aggressive and invasive species of spider versus a man with an intense fear of arachnids. Murder of a Nurse, The Exorcist 3. A masterclass in building suspense and then scaring the pants off of us. Rewinding the movie, Funny Games. It's shocking when the bad guys break all the rules and the fourth wall.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Ending, The Blair Witch Project. This is the movie that made found footage films a phenomenon again. The story follows 3 student filmmakers as they try to document the infamous Blair Witch of the Black Hills in Maryland.
You've heard of the Blair Witch?
Several times.
Several times. And what was the first incident?
Well, I've heard stories about her from people and neighbors and stuff like that.
The whole experience feels raw and puts you in the quivering shoes perspective of the main characters. The handheld cameras and minimal dialogue make us question if what we're seeing is, perhaps, actually real.
I have no idea.
But the ending is where all the build-up pays off, as the characters frantically make their way through a deserted home. You'll feel as frightened and disorientated as they are, as they try to make sense of what's happening. Remind us to cancel our camping trip.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.